Good morning to all. Welcome to the subject consumer behavior and marketing research. Say in this subject, we shall be discussing around five different blocks. In each block, there are different units. So our first block is consumer behavior, the concept. In this, we shall be discussing about consumer behavior, nature and applications, consumer behavior and lifestyle marketing. And the third one is organizational buying behavior. Okay, so we shall discuss this today. And in block 2, we should understand the buying process. Okay, for that, we should understand problem recognition and information search behavior, evaluation of alternatives and consumer choice, purchase process, and post purchase behavior. Okay, this is the things which we shall deal in block 2. Then in block 3, we shall see what are the influences on consumer behavior. In this, we shall see personality and psychographics, family influence on consumer behavior, social and cultural influences. And in block 4, we shall be discussing about marketing research and information system. And in this, we have three units. One is marketing research, its nature and scope, marketing information system, and marketing research in India. And then in the last block, we shall be seeing four units. First one is steps in marketing research process, research design, methods of data collection, and marketing research report and presentation. Okay. See, first block we shall start consumer behavior, the concept. See, we all know how consumer is very important in the market. Yeah, we are telling him as the king, right? According to his whims and fancies, the marketers has to design some strategies so as to give him those products which he will happily buy and consume it, isn't it? So understanding consumer behavior, its nature, scope, and applications, that's why is very important for all the marketers and managers and employees of every company. Then only it would lead to success and helps them to meet the challenges of exciting world of business. Okay. Yeah. As I told you, consumer is the focal point for any business. Now, in fact, no, consumers, they decide the fate of the business. Any success of any business depends on the extent to which company is able to identify the needs of the customers and how they satisfy them effectively when compared to their competitors. Okay. Now, Peter F. Drucker, he believed that the main purpose of any business is to create and then to retain a satisfied customer. Okay, so therefore, customer satisfaction and retention, okay, they have become the integral part of any business strategy, right? So when we have to satisfy these customers, some of the questions we should answer ourselves as a businessman. Okay, number one, how can a businessman satisfy his or her customers? Number one. Number two is how the needs of customers can be identified. Number three is how their preferences can be understood. Number four, how to attract a customer and retain him for a long time as a loyal customer. Okay. So to answer all these questions, how a businessman satisfy, how the needs of the customers are identified, how their preferences are to be understood, how to attract customer and retain them, how to make them loyal customers. So all such questions, if you want to answer, it is very much essential that you should have a thorough understanding of behavior of target customers. Okay, so today, business everywhere, they are recognizing the importance of consumer behavior. Okay, to know consumer behavior because they want success, isn't it? So first step is in understanding the consumer behavior. Now, when we want to know about consumer behavior, first we must know who a consumer is. See, normally what we do, a person who consumes or who uses either goods or services, we call him as a consumer. But in marketing literature, no, we have to think in a broader sense. What it is a person or it can be an household, okay, house, what engaged in, first of all, searching what goods and services are available, then evaluating, yeah, which goods or services are accepted by me, no, evaluating, and then they start buying, then they acquire, either they use or they dispose. Okay, so consumer in broader sense is a person or household who are engaged in searching, evaluating, buying, acquiring, using, or disposing of goods and services for his or her own use, or use of group, or use of family members. Okay, so customer is actually is a person who buys goods or services and pays the price for it, isn't it? Now, in wider concepts, let us understand it by an example. Suppose if Mr. X is the head of the family, okay, he buys a TV for his family. So he is a customer, but all his family members, including himself, they are consumers. Okay, how if he buys toys for his 5 year son, he is the customer and his son is a consumer. Okay, so these customer and consumers, they are interchangeably used. So to understand this, I have given this example. The generally, customer is a person who actually buys goods and services and pays the price for it. Okay, that is customer. Whereas consumer, he uses, he searches, he evaluates, he buys, he acquires, he disposes, no, for the use of for his own use or for a group of people or a family members. Okay, so that's a major difference. Now, all of us are consumers for some goods or services. Yes, every seller is also a consumer for some goods or services. So we can say that consumers may be individuals, maybe group, maybe family, or maybe organization. Okay, for a marketer, the consumers, users, and everybody who plays some role, some role as initiator or influencer and evaluator. These are the terms which we shall be seeing in chapters to come. Okay, they are important because in buying decisions, all these persons, they play a vital role. Okay, so in a family or organization situation, a person may play different roles regarding using or buying or paying. Okay, so these roles we can identify as four. Number one, user is neither a payer nor buyer. He is not paying and he is not buying, but still he is a consumer. Okay. Yeah, user is a payer but not buyer. Second situation. Okay. second role you can say. And the third one is user is buyer but not payer, right? And the fourth category is user is buyer and payer. So in this example, we have seen, no, if X is the head of the family and is buying TV for his family, he is a customer, but all his family members, they are consumers. They are not paying. Yeah. But Mr. X has paid, right? Like such roles would be there in case of a family or organization, right? Different roles will be played. Next, we shall understand. See, we have understood what consumer is. Now we have to understand what behavior is, right? Behavior is the way in which one acts or conducts in response to a particular situation. Now, to understand in better way, suppose if I have given you uh, a chocolate for the work you have done, what you do, what your reaction would be, you feel very happy and very thankful, so your behavior changes here. So what I have given you a chocolate, no, a stimuli. For that your response was you are very happy and you have said thank you. So your response to that stimuli is nothing but behavior, your behavior. So if I slap you, right, you say, what is this nonsense? Without any cause, she slapped me, and also that kind of behavior may come. Or the other person may say, okay, I might have done something wrong that madam has slapped me, like that, right? So it depends. The behavior of person, the behavior of from one person to another person, they differ. Okay, so behavior is what is the way in which one is acting, one is no responding to a particular stimuli, you can say, or a particular situation. Now in this there are very, what we can say, it includes no a plenty of or array of every physical action and observable emotions no associated with individuals, as I said, slapping and then giving a chocolate, isn't it? So there are some observable emotions. So this behavior no is influenced by various factors. Some of them are no culture, yeah, culture of the family, culture of the country, right? This thing, culture, then attitudes, perceptions, emotions, values, ethics, authority, rapport, persuasion, and no even genetics also. Okay, they are all the factors which are influencing the behavior, how person behaves. Yeah, when he is in a when he is in person or in a society or in a group, right? All these things are the factors. Now, human actions, they are guided by their behavior. No, because no every thought, every feeling, every action of people no they change. This is what is human behavior. It implies that every thought or every motive or every sensation or every decision what they make every day, we can call it as a human behavior, which is very complex, right? And we cannot easily predict. Yeah, sometimes he may be very happy or sometimes he may not be happy with the same situation, right? So it's really very complex. And moreover, no, some as I said, you most of the individuals or all the individuals, they are heterogeneous in nature. Their behavior no varies from person to person, and we don't see any similarities. Even in twins, also we do not see any similarities. Yeah. So though human may behavior is maybe relatively stable, it can be changeable, right? A man is basically adaptable to situations and experiences. See, we have seen this experience during COVID period. Yeah, the person who used to be uh, to move around on the roads and all, that person was also being caged at home because of COVID. And also we can say it in he adapts to the situations, right? And through experiences also he learns. So behavior modifications we can change. Okay, we can bring into some change through education, through motivation, through training and through counseling also. Okay, we can change these behaviors. So marketers, no, they often try to change this behavior. In what case they want to encash that behavior in such a way that their brands through marketing promotions or salesmanship through customer services, they induce or they motivate them, they educate them about the product so that they can become the loyal customers for their products. Okay, now we have understood what consume who a consumer is and what is behavior. Now let us combine this and understand what is consumer behavior. See, some definitions we shall take. One from Lawden and Della Bitta. Now, what these people are saying is consumer behavior is the decision process and physical activity which individuals engage in when evaluating, acquiring, using, or disposing of goods and services. So, in simple words, what they are saying is it's a decision making process. Okay, right? They make which good. Now, suppose they want a toothpaste only. Yeah, they have plenty of brands in the market. So they what they do, they cannot take all the brands together and with all with a lump of no all the toothpaste, they cannot brush their teeth, isn't it? They have to choose any one of these. So they'll be evaluating which is best to me. Yeah, all these things, and then they take it. So that is what they are saying, that majorly consumer behavior is decision making process. Now, what Skiffman and Kanuk they are saying is consumer behavior is the behavior that consumers display in searching for, purchasing, using, evaluating, and disposing of products and services that they expect will satisfy their needs. Here, so one thing is being added. They are also saying that it is a decision making process. Now, they evaluate in such a way that the product or services they take should satisfy their needs. That is what is consumer behavior. So we have seen two definitions. Now, from this, we can understand that it is nothing but selecting, okay, or selecting the best from the alternatives available so that they can satisfy their need. Okay, right. So marketers, they are mostly interested in knowing the aspects of consumers. So for that, they will be posing questions to themselves. Yeah. Number one, as I told you in the beginning only, yes, they will be questioning themselves with some WH questions around 9 to 10 they have in their minds. Okay. One is what products or services do consumers buy? That's the first question they have to answer. Next is why do they buy those products? Yes, why they are buying this? Next is when do they buy these products? Especially the time. If it was Christmas period, during last month and all. So, what products are bought during those time, those season or those period and all? See, when it was COVID period, masks, sanitizers, that they were in demand, isn't it? Even paracetamol, Dolo 650, they were in demand, right? So the period was like that. So those products were in demand. So when do they buy those products? Where do they buy those products? No, the place, the market. Are they buying online or offline? Offline, then which shop, which shops they do they go nearby or very far, yeah? Or DMart type or yeah, like that. So where do they buy products? Next is how often they do buy these products. So you can say frequency of purchasing, how often they are buying this. Next is how often do they use those products. So regularity and number of times they are buying that product, okay, and using it. How do they evaluate those products after purchasing them? So post sale services, how they evaluate their products. Now, what is missing in this product? Should I shift to some other product? So it's a mechanism of evaluating the product. Next, what question they have to answer is what will be the impact of such evaluation on the future purchases? So, no, if after evaluation, if the consumer is buying the same product many or times, then he will not switch to others. But if he's not buying it regularly, then he'll switch to some other brand, isn't it? Right. Next is how do they dispose of those products? That is timing and method of disposal. Yeah. So that is very important, right? The marketer should understand these dynamics of decision making and also the roles played by different people in evaluating and searching and disposing that product. Okay, so we should understand here now with an example. For example, if buying a car in an upper middle class family. Okay, so if there is a teenage son, X or Y, whatever you can give the name also, seeing a car ride enjoyed by his friend may ask his father to buy a new car. Okay, they get no induced by the things that their friends have, isn't it? So they may come to the father, no, and say, yeah, Papa, let us also buy a new car, right? Now, the elder son, he may advise the family about what kind of car we have to buy. The head of the family, he'll make a decision whether we can go for buying a car or not. So this is how, see, a teenage son, then father, the elder son, no, it's just buying a car and all, but all these people are involved in this, in this dynamics of decision making, we can say, or different roles are played, no, they are inducing, some is saying yes, we'll have this brand and all, right? Okay. And the wife, no, she may express her own desire, no, of especially, the car, the interiors, the color. No, these the ladies are very particular about this. So his wife may say that, yeah, the size should be this much, or sedan type or SUV type, all these things, right? Okay. Now he goes to the dealer and purchases the car. Now, the wife and children might have used more often than the head of the family, right? So, in this case, the very first one day, what he had come with an idea of buying a car. So, he played the role of initiator. And the elder son, he played the role of influencer. Father, he is a decider as well as a buyer. He's a customer also, right? He's decider and a buyer. And the wife and children, the other ones are users. Apart from these three people, even they also are users. But here in this case, to understand the role of all these things, wife and children, they are the users. So we have come to know about initiator, influencer, decider, buyer, and user. So these are the different roles played, okay, in decision making process. Now, what is the nature of consumer behavior? Yeah. See, consumer behavior is a part of human behavior. Yes, isn't it? See, you and me are consumers. Say, my behavior is different from yours. So, naturally, no, consumer behavior is a human behavior. It specifies, no, types of human actions, those concerned with purchase of goods and services from marketing agencies, right? So, first one is consumer behavior is a part of human behavior. Number two is this subject is interdisciplinary in nature. See, most of the concepts, most of the theories, most of the models, they are taken from various subjects, from various disciplines, like psychology, right? Sociology, then anthropology, economics. So that's why we call this subject consumer behavior as interdisciplinary. Next, the third one is consumer behavior is the systematic process Related to what? Related to decision making. Okay. Why, whether, what, when, where, and how much we have to buy. So this is nothing but answering those questions and or evaluating the alternatives available and then picking up the best one for us. So it's nothing but we are making a decision, right? It's in a systematic way. We are first evaluating, no, first searching, then evaluating, and then buying, isn't it? So systematic process goes on. Next is consumer behavior is dynamic in nature. See, it changes from time to time, from person to person, from place to place, from product to product, depending on what, depending on situation. See, just imagine COVID period. Yeah, time was so critical. No, we didn't think about no deodorants or diamonds or gold or anything. No, we just thought of leaving, right? So, and it differed from person to person also, right? Those of middle class and lower class, they differed. Even from place to place, the way there is a red alert and all, things were very difficult over there, right? And product to product also, everybody was thinking about no sanitizers or Dolo or erythromycin, right? Azithromycin and all these things, right? Next is consumer behavior is influenced by various environments, we can say social environment, psychological environment, cultural environment, economic environment. Rather, we can say factors also, social factors, psychological factors, cultural factors, economic factors. Because now these factors they vary from individual to individual. Now that's the reason that no behavior of consumers accordingly varies, right? Next is understanding consumer behavior is very vital, very essential, very important for marketers because no, it acts as a basis for designing no various marketing strategies. So such is the nature of consumer behavior. So we have to understand as a business people or as a marketer that it's a human behavior, it is interdisciplinary in nature, it's very dynamic, it depends upon various factors and accordingly we have to plan our marketing strategy, right? To whom to give what products, right? Okay, so this is all about consumer behavior. Now for we have to understand different types of consumers as well. Okay, see here we have divided consumers into two types. No, this is given by Skiffman and Canuck, that is personal consumers and organizational consumers. See, personal consumers are those individuals who are buying goods and services for their own use or for the use of family members or to give as a gift to friends or relatives. These are the people who are called as personal consumers. Now, in all these cases, goods are purchased for the final use of individuals who are the, we can say, end users, who are the ultimate consumers. Okay. Whereas organizational consumers, see, name itself is saying organizations. So, organizations are buying products, not persons here. Organizations are buying products or services or equipment. What for? For the use of organization. It may be no for production or it may be for processing, reselling, or creating some facilities and infrastructure in the organization. Okay. An organization, they may purchase raw materials. For example, raw cotton, sugarcane, limestone, all these things. Or they may buy machinery, or they may buy equipment, or office furniture, office stationery, or property. What for? To enable the organization to run its activities, and they are not for final consumption. Okay, as in the case of personal consumers, they were the ultimate consumers, but whereas organizations, they are using it to run their activities, not for final consumptions. Okay, so here the organization consumers now include profit and not for profit businesses, government agencies, whether it is local agency or state agency or national agency, okay, all government agencies, and institutions as well, like schools, hospitals, temples, etc. Okay, so these are all organizational consumers. See, to know the major differences between these personal consumers and organizational consumers, we can take some criteria to explain it very specifically, right? See, the number of consumers in personal is very large, whereas organizational consumers, they are small in number. When we see geographical coverage, personal consumers, they are spread all over, isn't it? Whereas organizational consumers, they are relatively concentrated. So wherever no you can establish an industry, only there they become consumers, right? So it's a relatively concentrated one. Whereas personal consumers, they are spread all over India, all over the world, right? Widely spread. When we see the purchase size of consumer, no, they have limited income, so hence they buy very small quantity. Whereas organizational consumers, lakhs of no crores of investment would be there, so they will buy in bulk, so in huge quantities. And usage in case of personal consumers, they are limited to household or self, isn't it? But here, organizational consumers, they are using for reselling, then production or processing or some facilities to increase their capacity of production, right? And the decision making in personal consumers may be self or family members. But whereas in organizational consumers, board of directors, no, many individuals would be involved. Some groups would be there, right? Purchasing skills and knowledge, whereas in case of personal consumers is very less because few members and otherwise self his own decision making. No, so his skills may be limited. Whereas here in organization, you may have experts. Yeah, experts in marketing, spa experts in finance, and also highly professional decision making or purchasing skills can be in organizational consumers. The buying motives in case of personal consumers is no emotional motives are there. No, a gift to a friend, so it's an emotion. On a birthday, I have to give a gift. So it's just emotional. Whereas in case of organizational consumers, they are rational. They have no rational motives whether this would increase my production or not. So rational thinking would be there. Whereas in case of personal consumers, only no emotions are there because it's a family bound or self one. Purchase basket in case of personal consumers is large number of products and services. See, you just go to a DMart and observe a consumer buying, then he comes with the limited list but goes with a full of no things in his or her basket. Isn't it? So large number of products they take. But in case, excuse me, but in case of organizational consumers, relatively small number, right? Whatever is needed for their production, only those raw materials or those things they take. The procedure they follow in personal consumer is very formal, informal procedures. Yeah, if they come, yeah, today let us go and buy something in there, and they just go. Whereas in organizational consumers, formal procedures are there. No, you have to take the permission from finance department or marketing department, and then go for a final purchase method or purchase, right? So these are the things. Now, what is the importance of study of consumer behavior? As I told you in the beginning itself, that it is very important to know consumer behavior because no to all to person to business persons to marketers to managers to employees and all, because many challenges are there in this world and they have to face these challenges. And see, as I told you, consumers, they decide the success and failure of business. So we have to understand what actually they need, what actually they want. All WH questions they have to answer yourselves to satisfy their needs, and then you can formulate some strategies, marketing strategies, right? So majorly, in broad way, if you study, this consumer behavior majorly for three things, you can say. One is to satisfy customers. Number two is to adopt the marketing concept. And third is to gain legitimacy in the society. Yeah, for these three reasons, uh, consumer behavior must be understood. Let us understand each one. See, satisfying consumers. See, the main purpose of business today is to create a customer, and that too a satisfied customer, and to retain that satisfied customer. Yeah. So though profit making is very important, this is one part, right? Making profits is one part. The business organization should also think about satisfying the customers. So in general, consumer satisfaction is to be taken in par with profit making nowadays, right? So consumer satisfaction is a person's feeling of either pleasure or sometimes disappointment also, that results from comparing a product or a service performance or outcome, you can say, to his or her expectations. If performance matches expectations, then he feels satisfied and he buys. He becomes a loyal customer. If performance is below expectation, naturally, no dissatisfaction, and he may not buy, he may drop that product, right? So to ensure customer satisfaction, what marketers should do is they should understand the expectations of them when they buy a product or service. To understand this, they have to study consumer behavior, especially, in terms of their perception, how they are perceiving the product. Is it by the cover of the product or the taste or smell of that product? Yeah, perceiving that. Then attitude. Okay. Then motives behind buying that product, and learning, whether performance is coming to their expectations or not. Yeah, and learning, and as such some factors which are related to the psychology of the customers. So that's why they have to study this. See, the market dynamics and consumer behavior, they are rapidly changing. See, we have now internet economy, wherein consumers are more demanding, they are more time driven, they have more information, they are highly individualistic, and they evaluate on their ability, whether the marketers are delivering them customer value or not, hassle free product or not, they are searching for information. Yeah, all these things. So this requires understanding of no highly complex and ever changing consumer behavior. Okay, so that's why to satisfy customers is the first thing. Second one is adopting the marketing concept. See, most of the companies know they are trying to adopt marketing concept. Under this, no, the firm believes that in making products, what consumers need and want, they are taken into consideration. Okay. Following consumer orientation, it provides a company with a competitive advantage, which leads to high corporate performance, and in what ways, in increasing of profits and even generating more revenues also. Okay, so it can secure cost efficiency from repeat customers, price premiums from already established customers, and customer loyalty and all. So for adopting that marketing concept, the understanding of consumer is essential. Okay, and third one is gaining legitimacy in the society. See, money making does not provide a legitimate reason, isn't it? Yeah, they'll understand that this organization is meant only for profit. They do not satisfy the consumers' satisfaction, right? With their needs and all, they are not happy with it. Focusing on consumers and satisfying their needs, they contribute no to better serving to the society needs. Okay. Uh, See, when we look into consumers and society in general, they will patronize and support such business organizations. Uh, those are satisfying their needs, right? Because all the resources used in business organizations, they are directed for the satisfaction of large number of consumers. Okay, but when we look into the macro level from society, no, or societal perspective, consumers will collectively influence. Yeah, they collectively influence the economic and social conditions within a society. So, in a market system driven by individual consumer choice, consumers will strongly influence what will be produced, for whom it will be produced, and for what resources will be used to produce it, isn't it? So, for these things, consumer behavior study is important. For example, the desire of people to possess private vehicles to satisfy their conveyance needs in recent times, then naturally expansion of automobile industries, no, whether it is motorbikes or scooters or cars, they will significantly grow, isn't it? And even in investments in this sector also grow. So likewise, same is the case for mobile industries, no, mobile phone industries, no, even OTT industry, right? So gaining legitimacy in the society. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Yeah. We have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. No. Okay. Okay. We can. So no doubts. Then we'll move to influences on consumer behavior. See, as I told you right from the beginning, is consumer behavior is very, very complex and it is very, very difficult to predict, right? Consumer mind, we can say it's like a black box. What happens when it happens, we do not know at all. So that's why the behavior of any individual, you or me, that always is influenced by no a wide range of factors. Among them are economic factors or economic influences, cultural, then social, psychological, and personal. Let us see one after the other. First one is economic influences. See, uh, the important one to which are influencing consumer behavior, you or me, is now personal income. See, if your salary is good, you have an option to buy good products, good number of products, and expensive products, isn't it? So, personal income. Next is family income as well. Okay, if you are the only person earning in the family, then you cannot go for any expensive item. Yeah, only which is very needed. You have to buy those products. So, family income. Then income expectations also. So if there is a possibility of increase in your salary for the next month, there is a possibility that you may buy some or one expensive product during this month, isn't it? So that also is one factor. So personal income, family income, income expectations, and then very important one is savings. See, if you have this habit of thrift, savings and all, then in future you may buy some products. Yeah. Then liquid assets of the consumer. So how much cash a person has. Then credibility, or you can say consumer credit. So you see, if you go and ask 1 crore rupees, will they give you credit? No, they see your personal income, whether you have some assets or not, all these things. Then only they give you credit. So it depends upon. So consumer credit, And as such, other economic factors are also there. Okay, number of children in the family, number of family members in the family, all these things, right? So these are there. So these are the economic influences. Next is family income. See, family income means the total number of. Okay, already I discussed this. Yeah, now in this. So now we'll move to social influences. So, in this, the main factors influencing consumer behavior under social influences are family, reference groups, and the role and status they have in the society. Okay. Family, first one, say if it is in traditional sense, if family is what how we can define is two or more persons, no, related to blood or by marriage or by adoption. If they reside together, we call them as a family. So see, family dynamics they are influencing. For example, if a husband or wife, either of them, they play a dominant role in decision making. Sometimes jointly they influence. Sometimes no, democratically they take decisions. So family is a very important one. So if, to understand this, no, we have to understand family life cycle, which includes five stages. Number one is bachelorhood, that is young single adult living apart from parents, that is bachelorhood. Stage two is honeymooners, that is young married couple. And number three is parenthood, that is married couple with at least one child living with them. Fourth one is post parenthood, that is old married couple with or without children living at home. And fifth one is dissolution, that is only one surviving spouse. One has died and the other one is living. So one spouse. So this is life cycle. So in each stage, uh, whatever the products they want to buy differs. Yeah, the consumer, know, his thinking, his perception at every stage differs. Okay. Next is reference groups. See, every individual is associated with different groups in the society. Yeah? A person's reference groups are all groups that have a direct or indirect influence on their attitudes. They may be family, they may be friends, classmates, neighbors, co-workers, clubmates, or religious groups, or trade unions, isn't it? So often they influence his decision making in buying products or services. So marketers, what they do, often try to reach and influence opinion leaders, which may help them to influence the entire group. So they'll try to catch those. Suppose if friends are influencing him, they'll try to catch friends, and one of them in the friends group also. Next is role and status. See, every person participates, no, with different groups such as family, club, organization, etc. As I said, see, person's position in the groups you can define in terms of role. Role means what the activities that a person is expected to perform. You know, like a manager or head of the family, or club president, or minister of state government, or corporator of a particular division, right? So that's why role and status also influences behavior, or purchase pattern also, you can say. For example, a company CEO travels by a car and not by a bike, isn't it? So his status, he doesn't go by bike. Marketers must be aware of this status symbol, and then potential products and brands which they can provide to that CEO, right? Next is cultural influences. See, um, it's what our culture. Culture is a set of socially acquired values that society accepts as a whole and transmits to its members, either through language or symbols. So you can say culture is transferred from generation to generation. Yeah. So culture influence food habits, dressing pattern, social activities, festivals, marriages. In other words, no, every aspect of their living style, we can say. For example, within Indian culture, there are some variations in subcultures. No, subcultures are like Punjabis, Bengalis, Telugu people, Tamilians, Rajasthanis, Assamese, Odisha, yeah, all this. So marketers must understand these variations and then design suitable marketing programs. Okay, to serve the specific needs of these subcultural groups. Okay. Next is psychological influences. Now, in this, we have to understand the factors like motivation, perception, learning, attitudes, and beliefs. Okay.